Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you this cute little foursome of bags and boxes, I guess. They are my Playful Pets bags and boxes, and I got all three of these out of a sheet of 12 by 12 DSP. How, I can hear you saying, well, it's actually really simple. It's just all about measuring and cutting cleverly. As you can see, this one's quite a good sized little gift bag anyway. This one is just a nice slim one, but you could probably get a couple of excuse me, bars of the mini green and blacks in there. This one has a couple of these little chocolate bonbons inside. I don't know if you'd get a Ferrero Rocher in there, maybe you would, but it's still quite a cute little bag, I think. And then this final box will actually hold, I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 tea lights. So a real good collection of little gift bags and boxes, and I'm going to show you how to do them. So a sheet of 12 by 12, but I've done you a little guide. So if I can sort of put it flat and move it up and down, you will see. So I will put a photo of this on my blog so that you have it to hand. But as you can see, this main bag is this one here. This one goes from there. This one is from here, and this one is from here. So you can get the 4 out. You just have to be clever. And I'm not that clever, but I managed this. So right, so we're going to start off with a piece of DSP, and in fact I'm not going to score it first, I need to cut it first. So what I would advise you do with this, so that you don't get in a mix, and I don't know what I've done with that now, is, let me just a second, put it in another box ready for another project. Get some mini post-it notes. Jot numbers 1 to 4 on them, obviously on separate ones. Okay, and then once you've cut, so again it will depend on where you want your paper to run. The first cut you're going to do is have your paper, if you want this to be the top of your large bag here, then you'll need to have your direction like this, okay? And we're simply going to cut at 7 inches, okay, and we're going to cut straight across. Okay, so I now have 7 by 12 here, 7 by 12, which in centimetres will be 18 centimetres. Sorry, I'm trying to read my notes and it's really confusing. But yeah, so 18 centimetres by 30.5, and then you are going to take your post-it note and pop number 1 on there, okay, and then you're going to cut this at 9 inches. So that's for bag number 1. Then this little piece here is actually going to be for bag number 3. So we're going to pop that there, and then the piece that you have left we're going to cut at 7.5 inches. This will be number 2, and so the last one would dictate that this will be number 4. Okay, so then all you have is 4 different gift bags, all now cut into the right sizes. So let's do this sensibly, and we'll start with number 1. So your first gift bag, so this piece should now measure 7 by 9 inches. Okay, get your scoring tool, and with your DSP running the way you want it to, we're going to score this long side at 2, 4, 6 8 inches, which will be 5, 10, 15 and 20 centimetres. We're then going to rotate it clockwise and score at 2 inches, which will be 5 centimetres. I'm just going to pop that out of the way for a moment. And this is one of the simpler ones. Fold and burnish all of our score lines. And then, did I do that one? Yes, I did. Oops, let's not lose the guide. And then we're just going to cut up the bottom panels to that score line, all the way along. And then this last one, I'm going to cut away with just a small wedge out of the bottom. So these are all separate. I'm going to grab my stamp and seal, just run a couple of lengths down there, fold over and over, seal that bit up, and then with that join at the back, pop in the sides, the back, and finally the front piece, which I'm just going to fold over and pop down. Then I'm going to use one of my fancy pegs, and I'm simply going to squeeze this together. Just give these a very small massage just to make sure they go the way you want them to, and pop your peg on. And I'll decorate them all at the end, but that's your first one done. Okay, second one then, and this is actually the small tea light box. Okay, and so for number 2, back in with the scoreboard, and this time I'm going to do it on the opposite side. Okay, so I have the opposite side of the DSP, and for this one I am scoring on the long side. So this is now 5 by 7.5, which is 12.5 by 20 centimetres, and on the long side I'm going to score at 1.5, 3, 4.5 and 6 inches, which in centimetres will be 4, 8, 12 and 16. And then on the short side I'm going to score at 1.5 and 3.5. Take that away, and you know, as we normally do, we're going to fold and burnish all of these. And as I said, this will fit, I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4 tea lights inside. Now I'm going to apologise because I've got so many bags and boxes, I've actually forgotten which way I need to cut this. But as you can see, that was just, I just slid the ribbon off, and I'm just going to open this out to remind myself how to do this. Right, so with your short side and your long sides at the side, short is top and bottom, what we're going to do is, try and remember how I did this. So I'm going to leave these two in situ here, and I'm then going to cut this middle one. That doesn't seem right to me, hang on. What you need here is basically, this will be your box and this will be the lid, okay? This is clever, isn't it? Me trying to tell you how I've done it and I've completely forgotten myself. Right, okay. Let's start again, shall we? So for the base part, you need to cut this piece here. That's right. So with the long pieces on the sides, that's it. You're going to separate these pieces here for the middle. For the bottom, sorry, and I'm just going to give those a little trim either side, and I am just going to take a little bit off the top, do exactly the same on the other side. tiny piece off the top. And then this will be your box. So let's cut that piece. There we go. We're cooking on gas now. So this will be your base. Now, I've always said that I find it makes more sense to bring this middle section in. So let me fold that over so you can see. Bring this middle section in, then bring the two tabs up, and then you kind of sandwich them in the middle. So actually you can't see them. And it looks a lot neater and tidier inside and out. So start off with them. I'm going to add some adhesive on this middle section here. And that is going to go up. So I'm already going to put this at a 90-degree angle onto that crease there and fold this one up and over. And likewise this side, up and over. And then I'm going to add my adhesive onto this piece here. And this simply folds over onto this piece here. And then as you can see, that's created the box. The tea lights will sit in, if I use my glue dots as an example, the tea lights will sit in that way. And then this piece, if I remember correctly, we're just going to cut down here. And then the top ones, sorry, I do apologise, but as I'm sure you can appreciate, doing 4 bags in one go, it does make your brain fry a little. And when you've prepared them a little while ago too, I'd kind of, not forgotten, but just needed a little refresher of how to do them. And so these will now, let's put some adhesive on these, and these will now go under here. And then that will just go over the top. And there's your little box. I did remember eventually. Let me just pop the belly band back on this one. There we go. Not quite as neat as it was originally, but there we go. Right, so that's that one done. So number 3 then is this one. So if you remember, this was at the top. When we finished cutting this one off, this was off there. So this is exactly the same as the first box, just slightly narrower. Now again, it depends on which way. Now you see, my bag is going to run this way, so I don't really want my DSP looking that way, so I'm going to flip it over. And the paws are the wrong way as well. So it doesn't really matter which way you do this one, it's probably better whichever way you feel best. And as I say, with the cat one, I was quite fortunate because the cat hair ran the correct way. So number 3 then, this now measures 3 by 7, which is 7.5 by 18 centimetres. On the long side, we're going to score at 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 6 and 6.5 inches. And in centimetres, that will be 7.5, 8.5, 16 and 17. And then on the short side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, which is 1 centimetre. And you'll notice as well that none of these bags or boxes need shims, so that's always handy. And this is made up exactly the same way as the first one. So just going to fold and fold and burnish the score lines. And then, even though they're tiny, tiny, we're going to cut these little bottom pieces here. And again, get rid of that first piece there. And again, some adhesive along the join. Just like that. Now with this one, I did this one slightly differently. I'm going to pop the back in, then the little side pieces, and then run some adhesive on this. But it's not quite that easy because it is a narrow piece. So you kind of have to, oh, no. Oh, excuse me. I do apologise, that actually isn't hay fever. I'm actually having my house decorated at the moment. And although it is the weekend for me at the moment and it's nice and peaceful here with no decorator, the paint is still quite strong, so it does keep bothering me. So right, there's my little bag. Now for this one, I'm going to do this bit now, but I simply have my crocodile and with the smaller punch, and I'm just eyeballing this in the centre there. I'm just going to pop a little hole out ready, and that will just have some twine through it, which we'll do shortly. And then my last but not least, number 4, is my little gift bag. So I'm just wondering which way round this will work, but I'm just going to roll with it and we'll see. So for this one, actually you need to cut this piece down. I've just realised looking at my template. So for this piece then, your last piece, your number 4, it needs to be 5 inches, which it will be because that's the piece that we cut, but your short side needs trimming down to 3.5 inches. Do not throw this away, you need it. So this is now 3.5 by 5, which is 12.5 by 9 centimetres. And we're going to go in and score this one. So, yes, which way shall we do it? It doesn't matter because it's all messed up anyway. So on the long side, we're simply going to score at 1, 2, 3 and 4 inches, which will be 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10 centimetres. And on the short side, we're going to score at 1 and 2.5, excuse me, 2.5, which will be 2.5 and 7 centimetres. Okay, I'm going to fold and burnish our score lines. And this is another one where I have to try and remember the bit that I did here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is fold. Now, if you want to score, that's absolutely fine. Fold the top over. So that first box, you're going to fold it over. And you're going to exactly the same on this bottom piece here. Okay, so we've actually now folded that bit. And the reason being is we have this beautiful little border on the basket. So when you fold it up, and you can already see this taking shape, we have a little bag, and then you just need to cut your sides, which is really simple, she says. So again, it's just the same as our previous one. So we're going to cut this middle piece here, and then all we're going to do is fold one side in, middle up, and then the other side round so that they sit together. Okay, so this middle part here, again, I'm just going to take some wedges off and a little bit off there. Do some wedges and a little bit off the top. Okay. I'm going to have to blow. I do apologise. What have I done with my tissue? Okay, just have to grab a fresh one. I usually keep one just handy on the desk, just in case I need one, but no. I do apologise. At least it shows you I'm wholly human. I can't guarantee my nose won't run, or I have some allergy while I'm in here. I also have a cup of tea here that I didn't actually drink. My son made it for me just before I started filming, and I said, yeah, no, I'll have one, and then I started filming, and then obviously I don't generally have a drink, but might stop my nose from running. Okay, back to the bag. So we're going to put some adhesive under this foldy over part. That was nowhere near good enough, because now I've got it all overhanging the edge. So once you've got your adhesive on there, I have noticed with this with this seal, that if you rub carefully, you can actually just rub away the excess. Alternatively, if you have got an adhesive eraser, which I still have, I mean, I'm sure you can pick these up from craft stores anyway, but if you do ever get glue, these are fabulous. I don't know why we don't do them anymore, because I think they're worth their weight in gold, but it does just get rid of that adhesive if you do it a bit crazy like I did then. So let's do this one properly. Okay, so that's my adhesive on there. Bone folder just to make it nice and crisp. And then if you remembered how I did the previous one, so yeah, so I'm going to put adhesive on here, and then bring this one around and tuck that up there, and this one the same, and fold that one in there. You might find that you need to just give these a little pinch, or pop your nail in the corner and just guide them, because obviously it's double thickness now, so it's a bit harder. And then adhesive on this side and this side here, and then just fold these around and line them up, and then the last side there's your little basket. And then for your handle, we've got that little strip that we had left, and this should measure now 5 inches in length, and we just need half an inch. So this strip should now be 12.5 by about 1.5 centimetres thereabouts. It's whatever's left over. You can go with whichever design you want. I'm going to go with the paws, and I'm just literally going to get my bone folder to give it some curl, and then pop it on the inside. And again, I'm just sort of eyeballing where I'm putting my adhesive. I have a little nose run here, I do apologise. Goodness me, I don't know where this has just come from. And then I'm literally just sort of, I'm kind of eyeballing where the centre is and where the bottom of the folded part is, really. And there's my cute little bag. So we now have our 3 projects. We just need to decorate them, and they're really simple. So the very first box here, oh excuse me, is just going to have some twine on it. You can decorate them up more if you want. Crumbs, my washing machine. I don't know if you can hear my washing machine going in the background. It's obviously on its spin. It's sort of against that wall there, and crikey, it sounds really loud. Okay, so there is my first box done. My little bag here. So I've used the Pampered Pets, excuse me, and I have my layered circle framelets, And I have actually already die cut a real red and a whisper white. They are both the smallest size, so when you layer them over, you just get a very small amount of red around the edge. And I just want the word enjoy here, so I'm just going to pop that one off. Grab my real red ink, and it's really simple. Obviously you would normally stamp this and then do your die cutting, but obviously I've already die cut, so I don't need to. And then I'm just gonna pop some Stamp and Seal on the back. Come on, where are you? There it is. Oh crumbs, come on. It's just hiding on the edge there. There we go. So a little bit of Stamp and Seal, and then just popped that on there. A couple of dimensionals on the back. And then this can go on my bag on the front. And again, just a small bit of ribbon here, or the twine. Just make a little bow. And this will now sit very cutely with a glue dot, I guess. A little glue dot. And I'm going to actually fold this glue dot up because I don't want the full circle there because it will be too big. Pop my bow on the front there. Probably could have gone a touch higher, but never mind. So there's my bag. Again, this one is fairly simple. So we have the second size up now of the circles, and as you can see, this one is just adhered straight onto here. A couple of dimensionals onto my bag here. And then I have the cat on that one. I have the little dog, and I've used the cinnamon cider stamping blends to colour him in. Oh, I'm going out of focus, sorry. And then I just used the colour lifter as well, just to try and give some shade and shadow, etc. So he was coloured in very nicely, and again, a couple of dimensionals just on his back, and he's going to sit on there. And then I've noticed I'm sticking with the same ribbon here. I might double this up. Should I be really risky and double it up? That could prove fatal, but let's go for it. And then I just fed these through my hole that I punched. Oh, his ears are in the way, your little dog. Let's just see if I can get it. Yes, there we go. And I just tied this one up at the top. I don't think this is going to end pretty, but at least I tried. Oh, hang on, no, I've done it. I've done it. By Jove, she's done it. There we go. So there's my, just trim those ends up there. So there's my gift bag just there. And then this last one, I've kind of gone a little bit wild with this one. So we have another medium-sized Sorry about that. I didn't anticipate this taking quite this long. I thought prepping all of this would have helped, but never mind. Right, so for this one then, last one, I need a little bit of this twine. Again, I think I might double this up just because it's not quite as thick as the ribbon. Okay, so double thickness twine, my red. I have a lovely little trinket, and I'm going to have to go with a little dog, I think, the dog bone. And on here, so with this one, it says, enjoy a treat. So I was a bit naughty, and I kind of mixed this up a little bit. And I did that by using my red Stampin' Right marker. So to start off with, I need the word enjoy, which I used previously. So I'm just going to stamp that at the top. And then I need that longer sentiment there. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my brush end, my thicker end of my marker, I'm just going to colour in the word and, the letter A. And I'm just going to clear that out of the way, put my ink away. And this one, I now need to kind of line up in the centre. Give that a clean. Now the secret to this is stamp this a fair few times to make sure that stamp's really clear. Then with my marker, I go for the word treat. So I'm just going to colour that in as well, all the way across. And if it's a bigger word, so for the letter A, it was just one letter. So I coloured it in, stamped it. For a slightly bigger word, give it the H test. And then I'm going to hope that this sits, and it does, just fits in there nicely. And that is how you make your own word from separate words on a sentiment. And then again, this will just get adhered onto, oh no, it wasn't, it was the dimensionals. I remember now, because the dimensionals go on to this red piece here. Get off, get off. I've completely messed this up now. My ribbon is meant to go the other way, but I'm going to have to do it this way because I've put the dimensionals on wrong. So I'm going to do it this way, with that on the top there. So I now kind of have this loop going on here, and then I'm actually going to attach my little cute little bone here onto a glue dot. But what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put it half on the glue dot, and then I'm going to fold the top half over. Okay, so I'm folding that over there, and then I'm actually going to squeeze it in between the red and the white circle, and in between those strands. So now my little bone sits at the bottom, and then I'm going to add a couple more dimensionals, 3 to be precise, onto the back, and then I'm just going to pop that one onto there, and if needs be you can just take that peg off and just give it a small squeeze and put your peg back on. And there we have them, your 4 boxes out of 1 sheet of paper. I hope you like them. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.